Questions for Coach?
Coach, one of the things that when you look at a preseason, it's coming out of it healthy. So how do you feel on that end? It looked like everybody came out clean. I know Bradley didn't play, but that was precautionary.
Right.
Damian Lee, everybody else pretty much good.
Yeah, I feel good with where we're at from a health standpoint, injury standpoint. We should have everybody good to go for opening night.
Curious when you look at Kevin and he's in that environment. We talked about LeBron earlier, but in the second quarter, 7 of 7. You've seen it, but to see it again in that environment, what comes to you?
Tough shots. I mean, those guys are getting good contests, but his release is so high. Once he gets to his spot, can really get going like he did in that second quarter. And man, he was hot, and it just gives us all a great deal of excitement about what we can be this year.
Curious, and we know that from you, Coach. We know Davis is a tough cover, but he can also defend on the other end. What's the challenge, maybe, for Nurkic that you saw tonight that in the future, maybe what he has to do differently or better, have better showing?
Yeah, well, I thought Nurk competed, but it's when you're asking any player on your team to guard the other team's arguably best player, they're going to exude a lot of energy on the defensive side of the ball. So, I always have a lower expectation level of what they're going to give offensively. AD is one of the best defensive centers in the league, and they're playing with size, and we're swarming in there. So, there's some things we can do to put him in better offensive positions. But we're going to play through our perimeter guys a lot. So a lot of times, he's just going to be the recipient of that type of action. But I was happy with how he competed on the defensive side of the ball.
Another thing I had was, I know it's just a preseason game, but to finish, I think 4-1 this preseason, what does that say about what the team is right now? Does it say anything?
It says our depth was good, because usually our second and third stringers were playing the second halves. And, those guys were able to pull out some wins. I'm proud of those guys for getting in there and competing in each of those last few games. The fourth quarters are for those guys to compete for minutes and jobs and all that stuff. And, I was really happy with, especially the second half tonight. I thought was the best of the preseason, for our reserves.
The other thing I had to follow was on Nasir Little. He's someone that his shot looks better. He's making the open shot. He can compete on the defensive end. What have you seen, not only tonight, but him throughout training camp?
Yeah, valuable player and a two-way player. You can put him on the other team's best player at multiple positions. He can guard bigger guys. He can guard smaller guys. And like you said, he's an improved three-point shooter. So I think he's just he's one of those two-way guys that's going to be very useful for us.
Lastly, what's the plan for the next couple of days? Try and take.
Yeah, we're going to clean up some things tomorrow with a light practice. Day off Saturday. We'll get after it on Sunday, with a full contact practice, tune-up. And then Sunday will be lighter, just game prep type stuff.